Oh, and then also, the restaurant closed at 9:30 and we received our food at about 9:27. So yeah. Rate it? Why?
Hello, affordable travelers. We will be reviewing our very first morning on board the Carnival Radiance on a 4-day cruise to Catalina and Ensenada. It was interesting, so stay tuned to see what happened. There is a video up here that I'll link up here for you to look at regarding the review of the first night's menu at the MDR. So we'll link it up here. The next thing is the next day. So today, fast forward to the next day. This morning we got up, we went to the Sunset restaurant to have breakfast before getting on the tender. So we did get up a little bit late, but we did check in at 8:17. They were pretty quick about getting us. They said it was under a 10-minute wait, and we were actually seated by 8:25, so that was pretty good. But this is where the problem started. We didn't even get water service in the first 30 minutes. We were just sitting there waiting. We noticed that our coffee cups had dried food in them. They weren't cleaned properly. And so when we finally got somebody there, we sent them back. He brought them back, brought us our coffee, got the girls their hot chocolate really quickly. But then again, by this time we had been sitting for 30 minutes. The problem is that our food was completely cold. But I had ordered a breakfast bowl, and instead I got a broken egg sandwich. Now, if you've looked at the channel, you know that I try to eat vegetarian, and a broken egg sandwich comes with bacon. It's not something I would typically want to eat when I'm trying to eat vegetarian. Now, I don't tell Carnival about my eating preferences because everything I eat will be vegetarian, but I want to have that option to be a flexible vegetarian, if you understand what that is. Somebody who flexes in between when they need to or want to. And sometimes on this cruise I will be tasting food that has meat, but not at breakfast. At breakfast I'm not filming anything, so I want to eat vegetarian. That's why I went to the restaurant, because I know at least I'll be able to order something vegetarian and good. Anywho, ordered that with waffles and apple compote on the side. My husband ordered a Denver omelet with hash browns and wheat toast. Both of my daughters ordered broken egg sandwiches. One daughter ordered granola to go with her sandwich. I think Vaughn had hers just broken egg, right, hon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the problem is this. When our food came, it was all cold. All of it was cold. As it hit, the toast was cold. Like, everything was cold. Butter wouldn't melt on anything, number one. My food came as a broken egg sandwich and not a breakfast bowl, which I specifically said a breakfast bowl because it had, vegetables and all that other stuff in there. So I told the waiter, I said, you know what, don't worry about it. We had already been waiting. I need to back up. We had already been waiting for about an hour at that point. So we were already late for the time we wanted to get to the water shuttle to go into Catalina. So we'd already been waiting an hour. So you could say it's around 9:15, almost 9:30 when we finally get our food. So I said, I'll just eat around it. I'll eat, some of the whatever I can eat, which I took maybe 3 or 4 bites, huh?
Yes.
And that was of a half of a sandwich. 3 or 4 bites of a half of a sandwich. I couldn't eat it anymore. My husband ordered a Denver omelet and literally got a ham and cheese omelet. I don't even know. How did you feel about the hash browns, hon?
They weren't good. They were garbage.
Okay. Like I said, so we ended up with 3 broken egg sandwiches. I didn't want to discourage the staff, or because I know it's a new staff. I was on the ship in July. I know there was new staff because I could see who was in the wait staff in the room when I was there before. Faces didn't look familiar, so I figured they changed over.
Okay, so for breakfast, you can't really go wrong with hot chocolate, thank God. But when it came to actually what we were eating, I ordered, I think, a croissant, granola, and the broken egg sandwich. For my granola, it never arrived. We reminded, I think, 2 people, right? My granola, it just never came. Thirdly, like I said, I got the broken egg sandwich. My toast was fine. The bread was fine for mine. It was obviously a bit tough around the edges, but that's because of the type of bread. It was still unnaturally, a bit too tough for that type of bread. Sourdough, thank you. As for the actual sandwich, my eggs were done fine. My bacon was done fine. There was maybe 5 specks of cheese in the whole sandwich. Oh, and then also, the restaurant closed at 9:30 and we received our food at about 9:27. So yeah.
Rate it.
Rate it? Why?
So this morning was a morning, to say the least. Let me recall my horrible flashbacks. So I had the broken egg sandwich, no hash brown, because I'm not a big fan of hash browns. Excuse me. Because I'm not a big fan of hash browns. I also had hot chocolate, which again, thank God they don't know how to ruin hot chocolate, because if they did, I would be in trouble. So the broken egg sandwich was so inconsistent and made me want to cry. The top of the bread, perfectly white and untoasted at all. The bottom was almost burnt. Not to mention that I had cheese on mine. I also had eggs. If you call eggs being on the sandwich, the egg falling out of my sandwich. And it was on my plate. As well as this, they gave me bacon. Yay, thank God they knew how to do bacon. If it wasn't as well burnt, but that's fine. The bread was too hard around the edge for me to even bite it like it was a piece of a sandwich. So I would say that not just the fact that we had to wait almost an hour to get our food, just for it not to be great at all. It was actually very bad. I would give this entire just morning 0 out of 10. The fact that the buffet had better food. Please do better.
After all of that, we went to guest services and I explained to guest services what happened. They were like, well, you didn't speak to the maitre d' at the restaurant. I said no. And the reason why I didn't is because, again, I didn't want to discourage the staff. I didn't want to make a big deal, and I didn't want it to somehow influence somebody else's breakfast, influence somebody else's morning. Let me take my problem over here. You see what I'm saying? So the wonderful thing about it is that they called down the maitre d', who is Michael, and shout out to Michael. We had a conversation and I told him how much I love Carnival and how surprised I was at the service. He said he's going to take care of us, so I will let you guys know what happens once we get that information. So for tonight, we're going to try the restaurant again on Anytime Dining, and then we're going to try it again for breakfast because we'd already decided at the table we weren't coming back for breakfast in the morning at all. But I have to go see Michael today, so we'll see if he makes it good. I'm pretty sure he will because, again, Carnival is one of the best ships on to be on. I've just never had this issue before. So we'll see. All right, take care.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're back here at the Sunset Restaurant. Can you hear me? Okay, we're back here at Sunset Restaurant, and true to his word, Michael is taking care of us. So it looks like the problem that we had this morning is being eradicated as I expected, and that's what you get with Carnival. All right, there you have it. Our review of the breakfast at the MDR wasn't that pleasant, but Michael was able to make it up for us, so that's all good. Please, if you are enjoying that content, please like and subscribe. Also, take a look at this video, which YouTube suggests for you if you want more information regarding cruising affordably. That's it for now. Happy cruising.